Welcome back to the joy of color, painting, and soon to be drawing. I'm your host, Juba Cross.
Good thing we're not live.
I'm very excited. I have with me today a special guest. It is my little sister, Margot, and she is an art student and a painter. And I thought it would be really fun. We've never done this before. We're going to make a painting together. And so today you will see a real collaborative effort between two people with a little bit of a different style, and we're gonna see how it goes. Would you like to address my viewers? I have hit 200 subscribers on YouTube.
That's amazing. And even for me, taking a break from my big projects and going to do little simple fun ones. So I'm really excited.
It's a light pink rose and a monarch butterfly. Quarantine time.
I'm going to be doing the butterfly, which I've actually done a colored pencil drawing of this before, and obviously Julia's painted a million butterflies, but I'm excited to paint my first butterfly. So what I was thinking was doing these orange hues, and then I'm going to go into the black after she does the flower because it has to be layered on top of that. It'll be fine.
Oh, or
my hood. These are paper straws, by the way.
That is very important to know.
Very important note. We're surviving.
Yes. And thriving.
That's true because we have our painting.
And each other. And begin.
Let's get into it. Do you have the walnut oil?
Yes.
Walnut oil is a great medium for paint. My teacher always says you can drink it, but you shouldn't. You really shouldn't, but like most things are really like toxic, like especially turpentine and terpenoid, and this is like very natural, so definitely I recommend.
Is that key?
Yes.
Mark was studying with a painting teacher that I also studied with. He was such a great influence on my painting practice and just in general, just a really a great teacher, and it's exciting to me to watch Margot now studying under the same painter.
He's great. I'm going to start with a cadmium red. The top half of the wings is darker than the bottom half, so I'm going to start with a dark. It's going to seem extreme, but we will layer.
Our first question comes from a viewer with the username Janet Planets, and the question is, who's your favorite mom? It's you, Mom. Thank you for your unconditional love and support.
Who's your favorite mom?
The next question. What would be your best advice to someone who is just beginning to paint?
Well,
you have to keep painting.
When my painting career started, I was 15. I really needed like a real like teacher to teach me. So I think that's really important to have someone who has experience to help you.
That doesn't have to be someone who's with you. It can be online.
Yeah.
You can do it, like you can really do it all nowadays. And I think what I would say is like finding the joy in it. We're living in scary times. If you can find something that makes you happy and that relaxes you and it's so good for the soul, then you should do it. So I would encourage you to paint. And also you learn by doing, like just do it, see what happens. You're gonna get better regardless if you just practice a lot. The next question is, would you ever collaborate on a piece? What is your favorite piece of art that the other has made?
Oh, I literally told you the other day that this one behind you, I just think the lighting, it's very cool.
Thank you!
Cotton candy skies.
I don't want to be like so rude, but I would just love to say that my favorite piece of Margot is a recent portrait she did of me.
That was like a mixed media.
Yeah, and that was just, I didn't know you were painting that. In her class, you have to write a little thing about it, and so she wrote a little paragraph about it and sent it to me, and I was very uplifted and inspired.
Aww.
And honored. If you were stranded on an island and could each bring only one tube of paint, which color would you pick?
Cerulean blue. I use raw umber most frequently. That's like brown.
Oh.
But that's not cute.
Everyone knows my favorite blue is blue light, but I do have my favorite pink is brilliant rose. Who is your favorite artist and why?
I would say,
I'm sitting right here.
As you can see now here, I'm adding in some more of the red hue. It's really flat if you just leave it one color, so I'm kind of adding dimension.
I would just like to say one thing. We are wearing bunny costumes, and we did not address that. Easter is coming up, and we wanted to do an episode that emphasizes springtime, brightness, lightness, color, pink, fuzziness, Easter eggs, Cadbury eggs, my favorite. Chocolate.
Chocolate bunnies are my favorite.
Chocolate bunnies. We're just trying to feel the vibes and be positive and uplifting. And I feel like wearing this makes me feel jolly.
I feel
Wrong
fuzzy
word.
inside and outside.
Question from Anonymous. Who gave you both the right to take my breath away? So I'm in charge of the beautiful pink flower here, and I'm going to use a mixture of alizarin crimson and permanent rose. So I'm just going to go in and lay in all of the darkest areas, and what we're going to do is we're going to blend from dark to light and create a beautiful gradient for each petal, and each petal should be treated as its own person, its own painting. And then when you step back, you really see your flower is a community.
Interesting. I think what's also helpful when you're painting, especially objects like a flower, is to consider like the texture of it and like how delicate it is and how it feels, because that helps you kind of capture the texture of it on a canvas. Okay, we're gonna move into some more questions. The first one is, what 3 words would you use to describe each other? Number 1, colorful.
Aw, that's nice.
Obviously. 2, I would say you're always like motivated to do art, whereas I kind of like put it on the back burner and like put other things first. But you also remind me that I want to like prioritize it more. So there's that. And then I would just say like independent. Like you kind of, obviously you have your own business, but you're very like self-motivated and driven, which I think is like a really hard thing to do.
Okay. I would say you are ambitious.
Ooh.
So no task is too much, and you're able to sort of teach yourself different things. Like you're sort of a jack of all trades. Second, I would say very caring.
Aw.
When Margot was little, she wanted to be a veterinarian. She loves animals.
I did.
I think that you show a lot of care, maternal instinct,
Ooh.
towards pups.
Mother to my dog.
And, people that you love, and that's a wonderful quality. One of the things about Capricorns is they're very wise. Just, knowing who you are.
That's nice.
Okay, I'm going to use a different brush now to expand out from the darkest of the pinks and start to get a little lighter.
Okay. Whose room is messiest?
Oh, God. Here we go.
Are you kidding me?
It's okay to fall as long as you get up. So I'm using permanent rose and I'm mixing it with brilliant rose. I'm using that as like the next lightest thing from the alizarin crimson mixed with permanent rose that I use as the darkest.
So it's really interesting seeing a painting like progress in like a few, like a half hour or however long this is, because usually it takes like, for me, so many layers and layers, but it definitely is doable.
I'm just mixing some white with the brilliant rose, so a lighter pink with white, to now get lighter as we're moving in on each petal.
Let's move on to some this or that questions. Dog or cat?
1, 2, 3.
Dog. Netflix or YouTube?
1, 2, 3.
Netflix.
YouTube, because that's what we're on right now. Please like and subscribe.
Omelet or egg sandwich?
1, 2, 3.
Egg sandwich. While painting, music or podcast?
Ooh. 1, 2, 3. Podcast. My favorite murder with Georgia Hardstark and Karen Kilgara.
Swimming or sunbathing?
1, 2, 3.
Swimming.
I'm allergic to the sun.
Friends or The Office?
1, 2, 3.
Friends. Bowling or miniature golf?
1, 2, 3. Miniature
Mini golf.
golf.
What? Early bird or night owl?
1, 2, 3.
Night owl.
I sleep 10 to 12 hours every night and have a 2-hour nap each day.
She's not kidding you.
We're still just doing a series of gradients. I would say this is quite a complex image for paint and sip.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, this looks very challenging, but you should challenge yourself because you are most likely capable.
Yes. Yeah, so the purple is actually just the leftover blue from this brush because, and I'm just going like this because as we get out, it's warmer inside and then it's more purple.
That is
Margot
true.
got into USC, I was, I would say unstable. My parents were downstairs, Margot and I were together when she got the news, and they thought that she didn't get in because of how hard I was crying.
My method of processing is just like taking a long time with it, whereas Julie's is hysterically crying. I say I'm so glad to have Julie because she went to USC, and I always think that if she didn't do that, I wouldn't have done it. Just because it obviously is across the country, so I don't know if I would have thought that I could have done that. So I'm grateful for her.
Thank you. And there's a lot more detail that I could do, and it is physically breaking my heart to walk away from it for sake of time for this episode. But we're ready to take it away, Margot.
Ear check! I like to stand when I paint and stand right in front of the canvas, so it's a little different. But we are learning here. You're not supposed to use black out of the tube, as Julie probably said. But,
You know, for pain, sip, let them.
yeah, no, of
You
course.
can, of
You
course.
can, no shame. You have to have like more resources to be able to make black from just other colors. Use ultramarine blue, alizarin crimson. I use Viridian green.
And I use Stay
Are you
Low.
eating the orange?
Vitamin C.
So when you mix all these together, it makes a very dark color, and it's more interesting than just a shade of black because it has all these colors in it.
It has more depth,
It
which
has
I covered
more depth.
in episode 2. Some rapid fire questions.
Let's do it.
What is your nickname?
Marga,
Jewbug, Jules.
Jubug Ross.
Who reads more? I would say you because you're a student.
I was about to start a book actually.
What is your sister really bad at? I'm gonna answer this because the other day we played backyard baseball. When Margot hits, she just doesn't understand. She's like, what do you mean? Like, why won't it work? What she does is right before she swings, she just tightly closes her eyes. What would you say I'm bad at? Careful now, it's my show.
Okay, I think you're good at opera singing, but
What's the part?
also bad. Remember when you can hit the high note kind of, but then your voice fluctuates.
I see. I wasn't, professionally trained in opera singing.
No master, looking for a dunk like an athlete. 5, 4, 3, 2, I let one go.
That is really so beautiful.
Thank you. You too.
Thanks. What Margot's doing now is adding some yellow into the cadmium areas, really adding highlight. She did a really beautiful job of outlining around all the white dots instead of adding them after.
Yeah, so I just left it blank instead of adding the white, and then
That's great.
added a bunch of highlights.
A painting teacher in college told me that if you're painting something beautiful, it needs like a cushion to sit on. So for example, there's a reason why like beautiful high shine diamonds are against a black velvet background. Your background is as important as the thing in the foreground because it emphasizes its beauty.
Facts. Let's stand, why don't we?
Make sure
Ambitious.
I think it looks great.
I think it looks great as well. The flower's like such a good background for the butterfly.
The butterfly has so much vivid color that it really pops.
Very saturated.
Thanks for watching! I always wanted to do that.
Make sure to like and subscribe.
Well, thanks for watching, you guys. This was episode 4. This was so much fun. Thank you to my guest, Margot, for
Thanks
coming
for
on the
having
show.
me.
I admire your skill. You're ambitious, you're creative, you're talented. Shall I go? Thank you for being on our show. Our first guest, a really coveted spot.
Also, thank you for having me and for making room for me in your studio since this is my new Roski for the time being.
And we have Pink Starburst on tap. Stay safe, stay home, stay sane.
inside. I thought you were going to say stay inside.
Please leave suggestions for the next video. These have been so much fun to make and I hope you have half as much fun watching them as I do making them. And stay creative, keep making stuff. Round of applause, you did a great job, everyone.
Send your paintings. Pictures
Yes.
of your paintings we want to see.
Yes.
Yes.